Good evening, everyone. My name is Neil Betty. I'm your Cal-HOSA State Vice President. I'm from Region 2. Thank you all so much for joining us for our fifth and final live session of the year before SLC. This is going to be our SLC Pep Rally, and joining me tonight are my fellow state officers.
Hey everyone, my name is Amanda and I'm your current State Secretary Treasurer and I am from Region 4.
Hi everybody, I'm Archita Padmanabhan and I'm your State Parliamentarian from Region 2.
Hey guys, my name is Christian Diana and I am your Post-Secondary Vice President from Region 4.
Hello everyone, I am the Region 1 Vice President.
Hi everyone, my name is Jafreen Mangu and I'm your Region 3 Vice President.
Hey guys, my name is Arya Joshi and I'm your Region 4 Vice President.
Hey everyone, I'm Vivian Doe, your Region 5 Vice President.
Thank you all again so much for joining us tonight. So the real purpose of this evening's live session is to give you guys a few reminders about SLC and give you guys a few tips so that you can make your SLC experience as memorable as possible. As with Lyle, please feel free to ask them in the comment box and we'll address them towards the end of the live session. And then this evening, we're also going to be asking you some questions. So if you have responses to the questions we ask, please put them in the response box. And towards the end of the live session, we'll give you a shout out as time allows. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Vivian to talk about our SLC checklist.
Thanks, Neil. I hope you guys are just as excited at SLC as I am. So you guys might all be wondering, what do I need to pack for SLC? So first and foremost, bring your guidelines as well as anything that you need for your event, especially specific dress codes. Also pack an emergency kit with Band-Aids and tissues because you never know, you might get a bloody nose or a paper cut. And of course, one of the most important things about SLC. Anyone know what it is? It's our HOSA Blues. So don't forget to pack comfy but professional shoes to wear with it, as well as things to keep your hair off your shoulders. For any of the jump kids listening in, you do not need to wear a blazer to SLC. You only have to wear a white button-up shirt as well as navy bottoms. Amanda, do you have any other tips for them for what to pack for SLC?
Yeah, Vivian. So don't forget to bring a pair of unaltered jeans or khakis with no rips so you can participate in our social event. So this year we'll be having our Talent No Talent show again, and we are all so excited for all the amazing acts that we have lined up this year. Also, make sure you bring some cash. This will be especially useful for the NAMI Fanny Pack fundraiser that will be coming back this year, as well as for the scholarship baskets, which you can buy raffle tickets for at the HOSA store. And the HOSA store, which has tons of new items this year. We will be having a Heart of HOSA pin and sweatshirt, as well as other amazing items that you can check out at SLC this year. Finally, don't forget to bring your positive attitude. We're all super excited for SLC, and we hope that you come with a positive attitude to learn and meet new people. So now we will be having our first question for you. So we want to know, what are your SLC essentials? So type up your answers in the chat box and you might be able to get a feature at the end. So now I'll be handing it over to Archita for some SLC hacks.
Thanks, Amanda and Vivian, for that extensive list of SLC essentials. I know I'll be using that list as well. So we have a few SLC hacks that we've compiled for you. So ladies, we know that you might bring a flat iron or straightener to fix up your hair. Well, you can also use this to fix up your collar. We know that while wearing ascots or ties, you may have your collar get all messed up and crinkled. So you can use a flat iron to really straighten that out and look neat for your events. Also, if you're scared that your charger might break, you can use a spring from an old or not working ballpoint pen or clicky pen and put it at the end of this charger closest to where it plugs into the phone. And that way it'll not break as often and you'll have a longer lifespan with that charger. Also, we know that you're going to be walking around a lot during this conference, from the convention center to the hotel, out to eat. Your feet are going to get very stinky and they may get a little sweaty in those shoes. So we have an idea where we put tea bags in our shoes so that you can deodorize them. The tea bags can soak up all of the sweat and dirt so that you'll feel fresh the next day. Arya, do you have anything else to add for the SLC hacks?
Yes, I do. So most of the hotels that you'll be staying in will be giving you hotel key cards for your room. Make sure to keep your hotel key card away from your phone if you want to extend your lifespan for your phone. Also, if you have a white shirt and if you get small ink spots on your white shirt, make sure to use hand sanitizers to remove your ink spots before your event. Also, if you have any blisters on your foot from walking long distances during SLC, make sure to use medical tape to use for a blister bandage. So now I have questions for you guys. What are your SLC hacks?
Thanks, Arya. So a lot of the first-time comers to SLC are wondering, what can they do at SLC? Well, one of the things I like to do is actually network with others. You never know when you're gonna make a new friend and learn some tips. So don't be afraid to step up your comfort zone because you already have one thing in common already. All of you guys are part of HOSA. So ask them about their HOSA story. Another person you might want to talk to, by the way, are your state officer candidates. They might be representing you next year, so be sure to talk to them and ask them what their plans are. And also talk to your voting delegates about who you want to present next year. How about you, Jeffreen? Do you have anything else to add for these people who are the first-time comers, like what to do at SLC?
Thank you, Christian. And yes, I actually do. So in between your competitions, we encourage you to participate in other events that Cal-HOSA has to offer. For example, along with many others, the state officer team will be hosting a workshop called Leadership It's Amazing. So if you want to learn more about leadership and have fun, you guys should definitely check out this workshop. This year at our sessions, we will be having not one, but 2 keynote speakers. So stay tuned till the end of our session to find out who they are. As you all may know, this year the National Service Project is NAMI. In hopes of raising funds for NAMI, we will be carrying fanny packs to collect money. Each state officer will be carrying someone else's fanny pack. The person with the most money will have to do a solo act at the Talent No Talent show. So be sure to bring all your change to donate towards this great cause. This year, we will be having the first annual basket challenge. So the chapter that raises the most money by selling tickets for their basket will be recognized at SLC. So if you want to be recognized, make sure to bring a basket to SLC. Now, as we all know, there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes into putting into the State Leadership Conference. So if you want to help, we encourage you to get involved with Courtesy Core. Each year, we have HOSAgrams, which are sold on the calhosa.net website. It is a special personalized message that will be posted on the HOSA app, and all money will go towards the scholarship fund. So we encourage you all to buy a HOSAgram to show your appreciation. Hey, Jasmine, is there anything else that members should do at SLC?
Yes, of course. So as Jeffreen and Christian already mentioned, there are a lot of things you can do at SLC, but it's even more fun if you can do them with chapter members. Be sure to get a chapter member to attend with you at workshops, ask them to be courtesy core with you, and don't spend all your time in your hotel room watching Netflix. You can do that at home as well. And since this is a really stressful time for a lot of people since they're competing, be sure to help them out and offer some motivation if they need it. I'm sure they'll appreciate it a lot, and it shows the leader in you. And for meals, there are a lot of options within walking distance that you can look up on Yelp or Google. Inside the Marriott, there's also a Pizza Hut Express and a Starbucks. There's lots of places where vegetarians and vegans can eat as well. So there's a lot of options.
Thank you for that, Jasmine. I, as a foodie myself, will make sure I try out all of those places throughout the weekend. So thank you, thank you, thank you. One of the other really great things about SLC is that it's not just an event that you attend, it's an experience. And so keeping that in mind, the week before SLC, one of the things that our chapter does is we have kind of like an SLC Spirit Week. And one of the things we do during the Spirit Week is we create SLC Spirit bags. So we'll pack things like extra water bottles, food, snacks, gum, tissues, things like that that you might need for SLC. And as a chapter, that's a great bonding event for one. And two, you get to have some things that you need for SLC the following weekend. So that's just a tip for those of you that want to get hyped about SLC, not just for yourself, but with your chapters. That's a great thing that you can do.
Thanks for that, Neil. I will definitely be using those, and I would really appreciate a spirit bag. So another way you can hype up your chapter is to come up with your chapter chant. You can use it throughout the conference to show your HOSA and your chapter spirit. An example of a chant is Region 5, we all thrive. So make sure your chants are creative, because you never know, they could be the deciding factor for which chapter wins the most enthusiastic chapter award. Amanda, what else can they do to get their chapter spirited?
Thanks, Vivian. So another thing is that if you've been to SLC before, you've probably seen all the all the chapter boards that are used during the Parade of Presidents and other sessions. So one of the things that you can do is get together with all your chapter members and have a little arts and crafts time. Just remember that you're limited to one board, and a normal 20 by 30 foam board will do the trick, and the stick can be up to 3 feet long. We can't wait to see all the creative signs and designs that you come up with to use during our session. Now, one more thing, if you've ever been to the Anaheim area before, you probably know that there's tons of fun things to explore. So our hotel in the convention center is located in a really convenient area. There's the Garden Walk, Disneyland and California Adventure, as well as downtown Disney, just within walking distance. So if you have some time before or after the conference, you can take that time to bond with your teammates and your chapter members. So Arya, do you have any final ideas for increasing chapter spirit?
Actually, I do. So have you seen countdown calendars for holidays? Maybe you can make one for SLC with your chapter. There are multiple websites that you could use. Just search up countdown calendars on Google. There are multiple sites that you could use to create a digital countdown calendar for SLC. Also, during SLC, it is important to have chapter meals with your chapter members. Talk to them about their experience at SLC, especially if they're first time at SLC, and talk to them about how they did in their events. Also, a great bonding activity is to participate in the first annual scholarship basket challenge. So now I have a question for you guys. What are your chapter traditions, or what do you do to get your chapter spirited for SLC? Now on to Archita for information on the business session.
Alrighty, everybody. So an important part of our conference this year is the business session. So the business session really gives everyone an opportunity to bring out their inner professional. We give every chapter a voice in Cal-HOSA matters, such as electing our next year's state officers. So everyone is welcome to attend the business session, but the voting delegates will serve as your voice. So if you have a particular state officer candidate that you have in mind that you'll believe will best represent you for the next year, you should definitely talk to your voting delegates about it and let them know so that they keep that opinion in mind while they're voting. Also, if you want to attend the business session, you might want to learn a little bit about parliamentary procedures so that it's a little easier to follow the meeting as it progresses. So you can look up the Robert's Rules of Order online or get the books, or you can just look it up on Quizlet because they have a lot of options. Also, to attend the business session, you must be wearing your HOSA blues and the conference badge that you will get at SLC. Failure to not meet these requirements will result in you not being able to attend the business session. Also, each chapter should have a certain number of voting delegates attend the business session, and this number is based off of the number of affiliated members in your chapter. So advisors, this one's for you. If you did not register your voting delegates or have any discrepancies, please contact headquarters right away so you can get everything prepared and ready before conference. So I have a question for the members. Comment down below if you are going to be a voting delegate in SLC this year, or if you just want to attend the conference's business session.
Thanks, Archita. I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering where can I see a schedule for SLC this year. So it is available. A tentative schedule is available on cal-hosa.net. And if you want something more mobile, you can just access on your phone. You can download Attendify. It's available on the App Store and Play Store on the Android. It has a blue icon. What it does is it basically allows you to manage a personal schedule. You can also see results on it when it comes up. And it also allows you to set reminders, post pictures so other attendees can see. And you can also see some updates. And lastly, it also has an interactive map, so you'll never get lost. And here's Jeffreen with our social media update for SLC.
Thank you, Christian. So as we all know, everyone will be posting pictures on social media. So please use our hashtag. which is hashtag Cal-HOSA 2018, and tag California HOSA so that we can view your pictures and feature you on our Cal-HOSA page.
Thank you, Jeffrey. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and move on to our question, answer, and member response section of this live session. So we've got a few responses, actually. For one, we have some responses to the hacks section of the live session. Miss Turtle says, for girls, be sure to pack flats to walk in and around in heels to change for your competition. So I'm assuming that means that when you are walking around, you know, whether it's between your hotel and the convention center or just around the hotel, just wear flats. They're a lot more comfortable than heels. I personally don't have that experience, but I'm sure that's true. Other hacks, a person shouting for 8 years. She says to have basic stationery with you, such as staplers, index cards, binder paper, etc. In case your advisor doesn't have them, that's a very, very useful thing to have with you in case you need it for your event or if someone else needs it for their event. So that's a great, great tip. Thank you. And we actually have a question from Miss Turtle. What other workshops are there at SLC? Vivian, you want to take that question for us?
Of course. So first and foremost, we have our state officer workshop, which is leadership. It's amazing where you navigate yourself through some leadership obstacles and learn more about yourself and leaderships. I also heard that we may be having a so keep that in mind, as well as the Jacob Hefter Foundation will also be holding a workshop on texting and driving. So be sure to check those out.
Thanks, Vivian. We have a question from Annie the Panda. Can you clarify what the basket challenge is? Jeffrey, I believe you discussed the basket challenge earlier. You want to go over what that is again one more time, please?
Yes, so this year, your chapter can make a basket, and it can include whatever you want. You bring it to SLC, and then students will buy raffle tickets towards that certain basket. And so the chapter that has the most tickets will be recognized at SLC. So just bring any basket to SLC, and maybe you could be recognized at the conference.
Thank you, Jeffrey. And Annie the Panda, if you have any other questions, please feel free to comment or get in touch with one of us and we can help you out. Another question from a person shouting for 8 years. What kind of things should we make sure we explore in Anaheim? Great question. Archie, you want to take that one for us?
In Anaheim, as you all may know, we have Disneyland. So you guys can go explore Disneyland if you have a little bit of time. We also have California Adventure there, so you can go over there. There's the Knott's Berry Farm, I believe, in the Anaheim area, so you can go visit over there and see what's going on. There are a few botanical gardens around, so if you like plants and flowers, you can also take some pictures there, so that'd be a great opportunity. But yeah, there's also a lot of great places to eat, so you can explore your savory and sweet taste in your mouth, so be sure to explore those as well.
Thanks, Archita. A question from Miss Turtle. I am doing midterm. When? Great question. Amanda, you want to take that one for us?
Yeah, so online testing is when you will be taking your midterm test, and it actually starts tomorrow and goes until the 16th. So if you haven't already, make sure that you talk to your advisors and you figure out when you'll be taking your test. It's really important because you won't be taking your test at SLC.
Yes, that is very, very important. So you'll be taking your test during the testing window. Another question from a person shouting for 8 years, one that I actually want to make sure I hear the answer to as well. What is the best place to eat in Anaheim? Christian, I know you live locally, and I know you're a foodie just like I am. You want to take that question for us?
Absolutely, Neil. It really depends on what your preferences are. If you want something vegan, there's a vegan cafe I really like. It's along Chapman and Glassell. If you look it up, I'm sure you'll find it. It's called Green Mead's Door. And but it really depends on what you want. And there's also, it's a bunch of different places over here. There's a lot of sushi places. I can go on and on, but we have a limited time. So yeah, just check it out on Yelp and hope you find what you're looking for.
Thanks, Christian. A question from Austin Escobar. Who is our keynote speaker? Austin, that is an excellent question, and we are very, very excited to announce it. We'll be doing it at the end of this live session, so just stay tuned for a few more minutes, and we'll be announcing those names momentarily. Another question from a person shouting for 8 years. Wait, how do I know if my event uses STEM Premier? That is an excellent question. Ari, you want to take that one for us?
Yes, definitely, Neil. So please check your guidelines. It would state on the guidelines whether it does require online submission. If you're not sure, you can always ask your advisor. They should know the answer to that question. Also, if you're competing in a group, you could ask your friends as well to see if a submission is required. But please check your guidelines to see.
Yes, those guidelines are very, 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 very important. We can't emphasize that one enough. A question from Simon Moore. Is downtown Disney a viable alternative for Disneyland and California Adventures? I can take this question. So one of the great things about downtown Disney is there's a lot of really great places to eat and to shop. And because a lot of chapters have to like coordinate their team time together into their schedules, if you don't get the full day at Disneyland or the California Adventures Park, downtown Disney is a great place to go in the evening on one of the nights or one of the nights beforehand, and you can just go ahead and enjoy the night there with your chapter without having to spend a full day. So yes, it is a viable option in case you can't spend the full day at one of the parks. And seeing that we don't really have any other questions right now, we're going to move back over to some of the responses from the questions that we asked to some of the members. Michaela Gonzalez recommends bringing a mini Tide-to-Go pen in case of accidental stains. That is a great tip, something we all will certainly be doing as state officers, I know for a fact. Thank you so much, Michaela. And so a few other members mentioned some of the chapter traditions that they have. A person shouting for 8 years said, my chapter visits nearby universities the day before or after SLC since we're from NorCal. That is actually a great, great tip. I know there's a lot of really great schools down there in Southern California and Northern California, but Southern California especially close to Anaheim. So please, if you guys have the time and you can coordinate with your advisors and the school, visiting colleges and stuff like that for your juniors and seniors who might be interested, it's a great, great idea. And Miss Turtle says, we have a chapter night a couple days before SLC and play games and just hang out. That is also an excellent tip, a great way to just get your chapter engaged and ready to go for SLC, because this is, again, like I said earlier, an experience. So that's a great way to go on and enjoy the experience. And with that, we're going to go ahead and move back over to some of the reminders that we have for SLC. So we'll proceed with that.
Thank you so much, everyone, for all the questions and responses. So reminders, we will be having a question and answer session with the state officer candidates. So if you'd like to ask one of them a question, be sure to comment fishbowl questions on our social media posts, and also ask your advisors to check their emails since we have a Google form where you can submit questions. And also, we have quite a few things to do on March 9th, including STEM Premier events, scholarships, state officer application, advisor, alumni, and administrator of the year recommendations, and also SLC grants, which are $5 each. Again, all of these are due on March 9th. And then online testing starts tomorrow and lasts until March 16th, which gives you 2 weeks to complete it. And then, of course, our state leadership conference is from April 5th to the 7th in Anaheim, California.
Thank you, Jasmine, for all those reminders. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have our very exciting announcement. A virtual drum roll, please, for our 2 keynote speakers for this year. Okay, so our first keynote speaker, she survived a double brainstem stroke. She overcame paralysis, and she survived against 1 in a million odds. Our first keynote speaker for this year's SLC is going to be Kate Adamson. We're very excited to welcome her to present to all of you, and we really hope you guys get to hear about her experience and learn from it and grow from it just like we hope to. And our second keynote speaker has actually delivered speeches viewed by millions of people all across the globe. He's an award-winning journalist, a coach, and he's going to be joining us this year at SLC, Rick Rigsby. So we're very excited to welcome both Rick Rigsby and Kate Adamson this day, getting to hear about their experiences, and we hope you all enjoy it. And ladies and gentlemen, with that, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We hope you learned a bit about what to expect for SLC and what you can do to better prepare yourself and your team, as well as our 2 amazing keynote speakers that we're going to be having. Thank you all so much for joining us. We hope to see you at SLC, and good night.